Slow start this morning. Oh, honestly, one of the most enjoyable anniversaries I've had in ages. It's funny, it's the first time we've gone out with the kids on our anniversary. Normally you've done the sort of traditional thing, got a babysitter and, you know, gone out to a fancy restaurant, blah, blah, blah. But that's the first time we went out just as a four. And this is probably too much info for you guys, but the girls were amazing. They were fantastic. Just on your left there, actually. They had a great time. Yeah, we weren't out for that long, being with kindergarten age kids, and we got to talk to them a little bit about the wedding and stuff, and who's messaging me? Leo's messaging me. And yeah, it was just really cool. But we're going to get a ride in. We don't have too long, so I'm just going to do one of my little one-off efforts. But we've got to start off with a little chat. I want to ask you a question, actually. So yesterday, I logged into Strava, and it was great. Saw all these people out in Sydney, you know, doing the rides that they've been missing for ages, and say, oh, great to be back at Bobbin Head, great to be back at Akuna, blah, 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 which was super cool, right? But what is it about cyclists? What is it about us, right? So there's lots of guys who trained really hard throughout this period, which is awesome, right? That's so good. The commitment that they've had to training, they should be so proud of it. And yet they feel compelled to write stuff like, oh, you know, you've seen it, you know, getting back into it, or a long way back. Because you know that I sort of compare this a lot of the time to club sports and just team sports in general. I'm just, you know, saying cricket, if you're playing well, that's the first thing you say. You're like, yeah, I'm hitting the ball really well at the moment, or yeah, they're coming out well at the moment. You don't downplay it. It's funny, isn't it? And look, I'm not that naive. I know why people are doing it. You know, they don't want to big note themselves. I understand all that. I'm not saying jump on there and be like, fuck, I'm absolutely ripping it at the moment. Good luck holding my wheel. Us cyclists can be, well, obviously very self-conscious. Let us know your thoughts, guys. I'm sure there's a cool middle ground we can find. Repping the old Jawbreakers today. 2020 splatter fades. I still reckon the Jawbreakers, as a pure cycling specific sunny, geez, they're hard to beat. They just sit really nicely on the face. Yeah, it's really nice coverage. Hey, Jin. How are ya? Also repping the old Huawei bibs today. I haven't run them for ages. You forget when you put them on, they are literally like wearing nothing. It's quite a confronting / appreciative feeling. All right, enough chat. Do effort. Quick look on Strava, Leo, dudes out riding bikes, awesome. And I was talking to these guys a little bit about why we seem to do this thing of not being proud of the training that we're doing. So my question to you is, do you think it's an Australian thing?
I think it has to do with newer racers, upcoming racers. We're starting to feel like, or understand, they are actually getting pretty good at bike racing, and that they're not proud of that.
Yeah,
I think.
So you still saw that in the US?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have this tall poppy syndrome here thing, which is you know, if you're big noting yourself, everyone wants to cut you down, right? That goes across everything.
Yeah. So
I wonder whether that plays into it a little bit here. And the other reason I asked you about the US thing is you don't have that in the US. You're whatever, this dude's making billions of dollars. That's awesome.
When I mentioned that it's about upcoming racers, you know, new riders that are getting good, who they surround themselves with, and their environment has a huge part of how they perceive themselves, where they are, where they need to be in this sport. So that support system, that environment is so key to basically who they are on the bike and off the bike.
Right. That's a massive point.
Yeah.
Blown us away there.
Right. We're just all good blokes.
That's right. We're all good blokes.
10 out of 10 people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. See that Coil bloke? Jeez, a dickhead, isn't he? They get off.
Right again.
Yeah. She's still on Anzac Parade, I think. What should I talk about today? Cycling stuff, right? No more smartphone stuff. Where are you from?
Central Coast.
Central Coast? Nice.
Yeah.
Just came down for the day, or?
Yeah, we're visiting family.
Oh, of course. So, yeah, fantastic. I'll get up there at some point. There's not much racing in the area, because I don't think the club does much.
No.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah. That was cool. Always nice to say hello to someone talking about the videos. I ran into Leo there, and Leo's like, oh, this lovely lady come up and talked to me and said I was just watching the video last night and how good I was. So make sure you give Leo some love as well. He's riding very well and he's proud of it. I have been running this Polar heart rate monitor, and many of you who follow me on Strava have probably seen me rant in the past about how crap bloody heart rate monitors have been. This thing has been really good. Like, its accuracy's been great. I haven't had the dropouts, haven't had those rides where, you know, the heart rate kicks in at like 3/4 of the way into the ride at like 90 BPM. Yeah, which has been really good. It's been fantastic, actually. But, and this is a massive but, and it's potentially a deal breaker for anyone considering it. You have to remove the fob every time you take it off. So you know what I mean, that thing that sort of buttons onto the strap. If you don't take it off, its battery will go dead in days. Now, the flip side is the battery lasts forever. If you leave it on there and you don't ride for 2 weeks, you'll come back and your heart rate monitor's battery will be dead. That's what it's like. So it just becomes a routine. You just have to remember to take it off. And there's that element, and also the fact you can easily lose it. But if you're willing to do that, it's easily the best heart rate monitor I've used. I did notice that DC Rainmaker did a review on the new Apple Watch, and he said that the heart rate readings were really good. I'm not sure whether there's something in that, whether we can look at maybe even using these. How would you do that? Well, it won't work with it. I don't think it'll broadcast it. Well, maybe it will. Anyway, comment below, let me know. We could try that.
Is it just me staring in the mirror on the wall? All I can see
11 years, and I still didn't get the present here on time. Let's go.
at all.
Bit going on in the world, isn't there? There's a little bit going on. Not much of a massive Kyrie update for you, unfortunately. Sorry, Blake. Coming week will be a bit more interesting. There's a few preseason games. Will Ben Simmons play or not? That is the big question, which we all want an answer to. And here, this is where you will find out the answer to it. I've been following along this specialised SL7 thing, because it kind of interests me, okay? So I was listening to the Cycling Tips podcast the other day, and they were talking about how they felt that the sort of safety requirements had dropped in the releases of some of the recent big brands that have played out, obviously, with some of these issues that frames are having. So I got a bit of a hot take on this, because, I've been working really closely with Devell. They're working on some new frames they're going to be launching over the next couple of months, and they're going through the UCI requirements, the approval processes on those frames. And obviously a massive part of that approval process is the safety stuff. I've been having a look at really what the frame requirements are on the Devell frames and what the frame requirements I can see on that SL7, and it's not the same. What I'm saying is that if the SL7 had to meet the same requirements that the Devell frames are having to meet, there's no way that would have been launched. I did that video the other week before any of this kind of stuff happened, and I was talking about the frame thickness, and the reason I was talking about it was because they're really sort of pushing you to go way beyond what you would have thought's required here. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. The thing that you can say out loud for me, and look, I get that. Like, I get the fact that, you know, Devell are a new brand, and like, who are they? We don't trust them. We're going to pay special attention to them and make sure they're, you know, legit, blah, blah, blah. I get that. Specialized, tick the box, yeah, whatever. You've got heaps and heaps of releases. We trust you. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, you've still got to meet the same safety requirements. So I don't understand. Are there rules for some and rules for others? There you go. Probably. There is in life. So I don't see why frame should be any different. But, like, man, safety. Like, Could you imagine your like fork or your steer tube snapping as you're coming down Bombing Head? Like, God, that's not cool. I just had to get that off my chest because I've been like thinking about that lately.
Do you have Mama's anniversary present? Okay.
I actually saw this one on there and nearly ordered it.
So there you go guys, back daily vlogging. We daily vlogged pretty much a whole week. Now guys, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. We're still at like 30%. It makes a big difference. And especially if we are doing the daily vlogs, hit the notification bell. That way you know when a new one comes out. And pro tip, if you hit the bell and I see the comment, I'm way more likely to see it in those first sort of hour or 2 hours of putting the video up, before my kind of brain moves on to what else I'm doing in the day. So hit the bell icon and get your comment in early. Make sure to go over to Jesse's channel and like that. The Neurocontinental Instagram page, some beautiful pictures at the moment of some of the great kit we're running with the FSA stuff. Oh God, I'm not wearing a hat. I can't be bothered doing this again. All right, this is what it's currently looking like. This is the current pineapple situation, all right? There's another reason to subscribe. There is another reason to subscribe. How bad will Chris's hair get? Pretty bad. Talk to you soon.